Number 5. Sony A9G Best High-End TV. For people that do not want to compromise when it comes to image quality and performance, I have to recommend the exceptional Sony A9G, which is one of the best TVs ever made. This one here provides a priceless experience, but I have to state that it is extremely expensive if you choose to get a larger model of it. But then again, the smart platform, sound, design and display of the Sony A9G make it a superior option compared to everything you may have seen until now. Before starting, I should mention that the Sony A9G comes in 3 available sizes, including 55, 65 and 77 inches. All of them have the same features though, making it an attractive option for the majority of us. The Sony A9G has a beautiful and near-perfect design though, as it sits nearly flush to the surface you place it on. The back panel is also pretty attractive with a blocky pattern. Simple, minimalistic and yet sophisticated at the same time. Sony has done a perfect job with this one here. Then again, the kickback design is gone, which has made a lot of people happy, saving space and bringing a familiar design back. The Sony A9G uses an OLED panel that works so well in harmony with the new version of the X1 Ultimate processor that's superior in terms of upscaling HD and Full HD content to 4K. The Netflix calibrated mode is also one of my favorite features, and the HDR performance is perfect as well. Without forgetting, I should mention that the MotionFlow XR processor handles motion excellently, vivid colors, perfect blacks, and superior performance. Number 4. Sony X900H Best Value TV. Moving on, we have an amazing 4K TV from Sony. It's the Sony X900H. It's also an Android TV with a new, more powerful SoC that has not been used in any previous Sony TV. The bezels enclosing that huge expansive screen are slender and discreet, and the feet on which it stands are a similarly skinny, flattened V shape. Sony has put a lot of effort into improving the ability of its 4K TVs to upscale sub-4K content. By combining the prodigious power of its X1 4K HDR picture processing chip with an ever-expanding database of 4K relevant images, it intends to offer greater detail, texture and, well, 4K-ness to 1080p material. And to a very great extent that proves to be the case. With the solid bases of black, the X900H doesn't have to get extremely bright to appear vivid. All but the 55-inch model in the X900H range features Sony's grand-sounding acoustic multi-audio system. In practice, this equates to 20 watts of powering 2 full-range drivers and a couple of tweeters positioned near the top of the back of the screen chassis, one on either side. Is Sony X900H the PlayStation 5 TV? We don't know. However, we would argue that its mediocre HDR picture quality is a big limitation. More and more console games are released in HDR. Number 3. Sony X900F Best for Small Rooms. The third entry on our list is the Sony X900F, which is one of the most impressive competitors in the market in terms of screen performance. Of course, it also provides a lot of value for the impressive price. It comes in 5 different sizes ranging from small, 49 inches, to super large, 86 inches, so you can find the one that fits in the room you need. This beast can also be wall-mounted as well, thanks to the VESA mounting holes on the back. For connectivity, it has a lot of options, including 4 HDMI ports, one of which has ARC support, 3 USB ports, an optical digital audio port, Ethernet, RF, audio, IR, and cable. It doesn't leave anything to be desired, and combined with the new and updated Android TV Smart platform, you'll have plenty of fun with this one. In the performance department, I can say that the Sony X900F has a lot to offer, as it has one of the best screens out there. I should state that the 4K resolution, full array backlighting and 120Hz refresh rate natively are one of its best qualities. It's a perfect option for watching sports and gaming, regardless of whether you prefer console or PC gaming. The colours are super impressive overall, brightness is great and the contrast is top of the class, without forgetting the HDR support brings out amazing content as well. Number 2. Sony X950H Best for Movies. The Sony XH95 or X950H is a huge improvement over last year's Sony X950G or XG95. This year's model sounds significantly better and makes a number of usability improvements while keeping the same great picture performance. Prepare yourself for a rather involved unboxing experience. There's a ton of plastic clinging to the X950H, presumably to protect its gorgeous glossy design accents. There's also a glut of paper in the form of product manuals and setup guides, stuff I usually suggest tossing in the recycle bin. Once the TV is set up, you'll likely admire its form factor. Sure, it's still a black slab in your room, but it's a classy one. Sony doesn't discuss how many zones its TVs have, nor does it like to talk about its peak brightness measurements, claiming in both cases that the numbers don't necessarily represent performance. I agree to a degree, but for grins I did measure the X950H's peak brightness in the custom picture mode at about 980 nits. For those who don't know their nits from their mitts, that's a very respectable number. Working with the two down-firing speakers at the bottom of the TV, these two added speakers pull off some impressive tricks. Sony has some backlighting magic going on, and it's really the only TV manufacturer I'm aware of that manages to make zone count almost irrelevant. The Sony X950H offers excellent picture quality, surprisingly good sound, and a solid smart TV experience. Number 1. Sony A8H. Best all-round. The Sony Bravia A8H OLED is a no-brainer pick when flawless picture and sound are what you want. With top-notch color, incredibly crisp detail, and the latest and best version of Android TV out there, there's a lot to love about the new Sony OLED. It's an incredible TV, and it's absolutely worth considering if you're in the market for something in this size. When it first came out, I had high expectations, but the Sony A8H has more than just beautiful 4K picture. It has Sony's impressive X-Motion Clarity motion smoothing powered by the X1 Ultimate Picture Processor. That excellent picture is matched by the return of acoustic surface audio, which offers better audio than ever, right from the screen. In terms of pure movie watching performance, the Sony Bravia A8H OLED proved itself the category leader for premium OLED TVs. Definitely worth it if you have a bit of money to spend on a high-end TV. If your heart's set on OLED, and if you want a picture so lifelike and vibrant it looks like you're peering through a window into another world, you'll be hard-pressed to do better than the Sony A8H. Buying Guide. Resolution. These terms refer to the TV's native resolution. A regular high-definition HD set is also called a 1080p model because its screen resolution is 1920 by 1080. That means it has 1920 pixels horizontally and 1080 pixels vertically, so it contains roughly 2 million pixels in all. Think of pixels, short for picture elements, as the tiny individual dots that make up the TV's picture. Ultra-high definition or UHD TVs, also called 4K TVs, have screen resolutions of 3840 by 2160, so they contain 8 million pixels, or 4 times the number of individual pixels as an HD set. Viewing angles. Despite many improvements, most LCDs still have a fairly significant shortcoming: limited viewing angle. That means the picture looks its best only from a fairly narrow sweet spot right in front of the screen. We recommend checking the viewing angle by watching a TV from off to the side and from above and below the main part of the image. As you move away from the center of the screen, the image can dim, lose contrast and color accuracy, or look washed out. Budget. One of the most important things you need to check out before buying a Sony TV is your budget, since TVs can come in different price ranges starting from rock bottom to super expensive unattainable TVs. So for that reason, first consider how much you can afford to spend on your new TV.